Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Beth Eland. Today's class, we're going to be working on balancing our sacral chakra. This is the element of water in the body and is located in the hips. So we're going to be working a lot of the hip stretches. This can bring up some emotional things that you've been storing in your body. It can also ignite some creativity within you. I recommend having a journal close by for after class, write down anything that came up, and just get creative after this class. Maybe not right after this class if you can't, but sometime maybe this week while you're working with this energy, just like let yourself be creative, let yourself just make anything, even just dancing, something like that. Anything that you can do to express yourself, to release any of the energy that comes up in today's class. And yeah, so you don't need any props, but maybe have a cushion if you like to sit on one when we're working on our hip stretches. And let's get over to the mat. So we're going to begin the class today standing. Go ahead and bring your feet wide. So quite a bit wider than hip width. Maybe feet are about parallel, maybe even toes pointed in a little ways. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to hips, and then hinge forward to fold forward. Maybe swaying a little bit side to side. And letting your hands release down to the mat, maybe just your fingertips on the mat as you sway side to side. Breathing deep into the nose and maybe sigh out the mouth, exhale. Now let's breathe into some side lunges. So walking your fingertips towards your right foot, bend into that right knee, and then keep that left leg straight. And then as you inhale, straighten that right leg, and then exhale, bend the left knee and keeping that right leg straight. So we'll just be going back and forth like this into our side lunges, going as far as is good for you. You can keep your knee bent straight, and then your foot can stay on the mat. Or if you prefer, you can point your toes out and kind of really come into this side lunge, maybe pointing the toes up as you come down. Whatever variation feels good for you. I like this more gentle one right now. And keep breathing. Inhale, push, and exhale, lean. Really connect to your breath. Welcome yourself to the mat. And after your next one, come back to neutral. Head hangs heavy. And just walk your hands over to your right foot. Just hang over, leaning the chest towards the right knee. And moving to the other side, leaning in towards that left knee, feeling that deep stretch in the hamstring. And come back to center. Place both hands on your hips. Lift your chest halfway so your torso is parallel to the floor. Inhale, exhale all the way. And then inhale, pushing into both feet, slowly lift your torso back up to stand. Take a few breaths like this. And we were inverted for a little while. So allow your body to recalibrate. We'll continue warming up the hips. Point your right toes towards the front edge of the mat and bend into your right knee. Then extend both arms up, palms facing down. This is your warrior two. Back foot stays parallel to the back end of the mat and try to keep your shoulders over your hips. Try to lean forward or anything like that. Keep your torso straight and gaze forward over that middle finger. Anchor in through both feet evenly. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let's reverse the warrior. So we're going to bring the left arm down. Maybe place it on the left thigh and reach the right arm up overhead, gazing down towards that left foot and really finding a lot of space in the right side ribs. And keep breathing here, in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. And on your next exhale, kind of cartwheel your body down in towards Trikonasana or triangle pose. So running the back end of your right hand along the inseam of your right leg, and then pointing this left arm straight up. Really rolling this left shoulder back, and using this right hand as a leverage point to kind of twist your body so that your body stays in one plane of movement. And keep breathing, finding space now in the left side of the waist while maintaining the space in the right side of the waist. So notice I'm still up. I'm not like slouched down. Awesome. Let's inhale, push into both feet to come back up. Rebend that front knee, warrior two. Notice if you feel a little bit taller now that you've stretched out in both side ribs. Really stack the shoulders over the hips and feel yourself be really strong here. Now let's inhale, straighten the front leg, lift both arms up. Exhale, hands come to hips. And switch your feet to go to the other side. So bring the right foot parallel and left foot points towards the back end of your mat. Bending into that front knee for warrior two on the other side. Nice and steady and strong. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop your right hand down. Left arm comes up, stretching into the left side rib. And you can gaze wherever you feel most comfortable. I really like looking at my back foot on this one. But if you prefer to maybe look forward and maybe even feel a little bit of a neck release in this one, you can. Awesome. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, cartwheel over to your Trikonasana on the other side. Just coming down as low as is good for you, keeping that length in the left side ribs while extending through the right side ribs. And one more deep breath here. Let's inhale, push into both feet to come all the way back up and rebend, warrior two. Next inhale, straighten the front leg, lift both arms up. And exhale, hands come to the hips. And you can toe heel your feet towards each other a little bit. So they're still a little bit wider than hip width. Toes out, heels in this time. We're going to do our Malasana squat pose. So inhale, you can reach both arms up. Exhale, hands come to prayer. And then bend both knees as you come to squat down. Adjusting as you see fit to come all the way into your squat pose. If you can't come all the way down comfortably, you can always sit up on a block or a cushion. Or if you need to be up in more of a chair pose, like with your elbows on your thighs like this, you can start here. Otherwise, you can use your elbows to push your knees away from each other slightly and really let your torso be tall. Let your low back release down and breathe deep. And if this is plenty for you, please just stay here. Otherwise, we can invite a little bit of a twist. So feeling kind of similar to the triangle, extend your right arm out so your fingertips come down to the floor. Then extend your left arm behind you, kind of using this traction to twist open. Exhale, unwind. Come back to your neutral squat. Take another breath. And do this twist on the other side. So left fingertips down, then extend the right arm back. And keeping your hips neutral. And trying to keep this knee out even though your elbow's no longer pushing it. And exhale, come back to your neutral Malasana. And on your next exhale, you can place both arms behind you to come to a seat. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch for a butterfly fold. If you like to sit up on a cushion, you can do so now. Grab that and sit down on the edge of it before coming into your butterfly fold. Spine is nice and tall. Inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, leading with the chest. And just coming as far as feels good for you. And with each exhale, allow the thighs to get heavier and to relax, to open. Maybe placing both palms face up in front of you. And just keeping the back straight for this one. So head is in line with the hips. Flip your palms face down. Push yourself back up to neutral. And bring your feet out in front of you a bit wider than hip width. And do like big windshield wiper motions. So dipping the right knee in. And then dipping the left knee in. We're going to be working a little bit more with some internal rotation like this in a little bit. We're going to do a few more poses before that, but this will be a teaser for that. Now, if you came off your cushion, come back on. We're going to move into Upavista Konasana. So just extending both legs out as wide as you can, flexing both feet towards the ceiling, knees are pointed straight up. Inhale deep, spine is nice and long, and same as with Baddha Konasana, hinging forward from the hips. Rolling forward on your cushion if that's what you're using, and then palms face up. And keeping the legs nice and engaged. Don't like lock out the knees or anything, but just keep your feet flexed. Make sure energy is moving through your whole body. And if this doesn't feel good at all, if this is not my favorite pose. If you want to go back to your butterfly pose, you can do that for now. Always, we're going to hold here for a few moments, at least several breaths. Releasing anything that we're not using, that we don't need. Feeling the rise and the fall of the belly as you breathe deeply. 3 more deep breaths. You can slowly push yourself back up. And coming out of this one, I like to put my hand underneath my knee and kind of pull it in. Like it's one of those big umbrellas. Pull it in. Maybe straighten your legs and shake them out a little bit if that feels good. We're going to move into a seated pigeon pose. So turning towards the long edge of your mat. Place both hands behind you. I sometimes like my fingers pointing towards my body. Sometimes I like them pointed away. Just maybe start here with your fingers pointed towards the long edge of the mat and see where that takes you. And bring your left leg over the right for your pigeon pose. Adjusting your torso as needed. Keep your chest tall. So you're not sinking into your arms here. You're keeping your chest up and just using your hands as a kickstand. And then this right foot, you can extend it out or you can pull it in to adjust your position here. Keeping the left foot flexed. Maybe you're rocking the configuration side to side. Closing the eyes if that feels good. Now extend the right leg out, keeping the left leg over top. Plant that left foot down, pushing into the big toe and coming into our twist here. So wrapping the right arm around your leg and left arm back behind you, twisting open towards the left side. Spine is nice and tall, just like before. Shoulders over your hips and your ears over your shoulders. Exhale, let's unwind and do the same thing on the other side. So now bringing your right foot over the left thigh and then adjusting your seat to find a stretch in the outer edge of your right hip. Breathing deep. Imagine you can breathe directly into your solar plexus, into the outer right hip. Maybe you can feel the waters of the solar plexus chakra moving through and purifying the space as you balance it. And straighten out that left leg and twisting over to the right now, hugging that right leg in and shining the chest over to the right. Exhale, let's unwind. Straighten both legs, maybe shake them out a little bit like we did before. Let's move into our deer pose now. So shifting your hips over to the left side of the mat, bring your left leg kind of back behind you. So your shin is parallel to the long edge of the mat. And then your shin on your left leg is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Flex both feet and then kind of lean a little bit in a diagonal backwards. So you'll feel this in the right hip as your thigh is internally rotating here. So only move very subtly. I like to keep on my left fingertips, on my right fingertips, and using my left arm as a kickstand like I have been for the ankle to knee for the seated pigeon pose. Only moving until you feel something ever so slightly here and breathe into it. Let's let that one go. Come back, bring your torso back forward and kind of pull that back knee forward like we did when we were coming out of our wide-legged fold and switch to the other side. So now your left leg is parallel to the short edge, right leg parallel to the left leg is parallel to the long edge, and right leg is parallel to the short edge. And just the same thing on this side. So now feeling that in your left hip. We don't do internal rotation very much in yoga, so it might feel a little bit strange. And again, don't push very hard at all. Really only feel, you'll only want to feel for a little bit of the sensation and stop there. And coming out of it, bring your torso back forward towards the right. Pull that left knee up. Let's come down to lie down on your back. Rolling down onto your elbows and then rolling down one vertebra at a time. Pull your right knee in and extend your left leg out, really pushing out through the heel. And stretching out the front of the psoas, right in front of the hip here on the left side. As you exhale, release that right leg and switch sides, bringing the left knee in and extending the right leg out, really pushing out through that heel, flexing the foot. Let that left foot go. Bring both feet up. Lower both knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. Maybe coming into happy baby if that feels good, holding on to the outer edges of both feet and stacking your heels over your knees. And continuing to rock side to side, massaging the low back. Let's release into Shavasana, our final resting pose, taking up as much space as you can, allowing your whole body to fully relax. If you feel any tightness in the low back, you can bring your feet flat to the mat, as wide as the mat, and dip your knees in together to touch as your final resting pose, if extending the legs is too much for you. Otherwise, just let your full body unwind. Let all the work that we've done on the hips kind of move through the system. When we're balancing one chakra, we are working with all of them as well. They're all connected, so they're all affected by this work. Shavasana is very important in helping to recalibrate our energy. So giving yourself space and time to really plug in and just breathe, just be. We'll take several deep breaths here in silence. If you drifted off, gradually bring yourself back to your breath and deepen your breath. Feel the belly rise and fall. And you can stay here in Shavasana if you feel like that is best for your practice. Otherwise, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe touch your thumb to each fingertip one by one. Reaching both arms up overhead or out to the side. And rolling over to one side here. Cradling your head in your upper arm. And then pushing yourself up into a cross-legged position. Sitting up on your cushion or not. However is most comfortable for you. Rest here with your palms face up on your thighs. Notice how you feel physically, energetically, mentally, spiritually. Notice how the energy around you feels. And to feel this in, really bring that balance in. Let's bring the palms together to touch at the heart, Anjali Mudra, connecting both sides of the body. Take time here to give yourself gratitude for coming to the mat. And I'll close our practice by chanting Om one time. You're more than welcome to join along. Exhale all the breath out of the body. Then inhale deeply to chant Om. Om. Bowing the head, blinking the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to know how this class made you feel. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of these chakra videos, just let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Namaste.